Stop using manure. This November soil trick triples your harvest naturally. If you've been gardening for a while, you've probably been told that manure is the ultimate secret to rich, healthy soil. But what if I told you that the real secret, the one that old gardeners quietly used long before modern fertilizers, doesn't involve manure at all? That's right. This November, you can give your garden a deep, natural boost using a simple layering method that rebuilds your soil's health from the roots up, without a single shovel of manure. Whether you're tending a backyard plot or just a few raised beds, this method works silently through winter and rewards you with lush, abundant growth come spring. So, before you haul another wheelbarrow of manure, let's uncover the forgotten November soil trick that could triple your harvest, naturally. Why November is the most powerful month for soil building. November is the quiet season for most gardeners. The harvest is over, the air is cool, and the soil begins to rest. But beneath the surface, something magical is happening. The soil is alive. Microbes, fungi, and earthworms are still hard at work, digesting what's left from summer and preparing nutrients for spring. The key to boosting that underground activity isn't adding more nitrogen, like manure does. It's feeding the soil the right way, with gentle, balanced organic matter. Heavy applications of manure can overload the soil with ammonia, salts, and bacteria that disturb the natural ecosystem. It's like forcing a feast when your soil really needs a slow, nourishing meal. That's where the November soil layering method comes in, a slow-release approach that mimics how forests rebuild themselves every year. Step 1. Feed the soil carbon, not nitrogen. The first step is simple. Collect your fallen leaves. Yes, those piles of gold and brown carpeting your yard aren't waste. They're treasure. Shred or crumble them, then spread them about 4 inches thick over your garden beds. These leaves act as the foundation for your soil's winter feast. As they break down, they feed beneficial fungi, the same fungi that help plants access water and nutrients in spring. If you want to accelerate the process, sprinkle a light dusting of rice bran, ground oats, or even old flour between the layers. These are perfect fungal foods and help create a web of mycelium under the surface. By the time frost sets in, those fungi will be thriving, quietly building the dark, crumbly humus that gardeners dream of. Step 2. Add mineral strength the natural way. Manure adds nutrients, yes, but it often misses the mineral diversity that plants crave. November is the perfect time to restore your soil's mineral balance using materials you already have. Use wood ash from untreated firewood to add potassium and calcium. It also helps regulate soil acidity. Crush and scatter eggshells for slow-release calcium, and if you have access to rock dust or volcanic basalt, sprinkle a thin layer on top. You don't need much. A little goes a long way. Rain and snow will carry these minerals down naturally, ensuring they're ready for root uptake by spring. These ingredients fortify the soil structure itself. Where manure feeds plants, minerals feed the earth that supports them. Step 3. Bring your soil to life with microbial tea. Here's where things get exciting. Microbes are the true builders of fertility. To invite them into your soil, make your own living compost tea, an easy, low-cost solution that transforms dead dirt into living soil. In a bucket of non-chlorinated water, mix a scoop of finished compost or leaf mold and a tablespoon of molasses, which acts as microbial food. Let it brew for 3 to 5 days, stirring daily to keep oxygen flowing. When it smells sweet and earthy, not sour, it's ready. Pour this tea gently over your leaf and mineral layers. It introduces a surge of beneficial bacteria and fungi that start digesting organic matter right away, even in cool weather. This microbial life builds networks in your soil, improving nutrient exchange and resilience. You're essentially inoculating your garden with life. Step 4. The ocean's secret: seaweed and kelp. If you live near the coast, or even if you just have access to dried seaweed meal, you have one of nature's most powerful soil enhancers in your hands. Seaweed is packed with over 60 trace elements, including magnesium, zinc, and iodine. It also contains natural plant hormones that boost root growth and stress resistance. After layering your leaves and minerals, mix in a handful of kelp meal or, just a thin layer of rinsed seaweed. It breaks down slowly, feeding the soil all winter while enhancing moisture retention and microbial activity. By spring, that same seaweed will have melted into a jelly-like organic layer that plants absolutely love. Step 5. The winter blanket, compost mulch. Now that you've built a foundation of leaves, minerals, and microbes, it's time to protect it. Cover your garden with a 2-inch layer of compost, the final ingredient in your November soil recipe. This layer keeps your microecosystem insulated from frost, prevents nutrient runoff, and locks in moisture. It also gives your garden a head start for spring planting because the soil underneath stays soft and workable. If you live in a colder climate, top it off with straw, bark, or even a thin fabric mulch to keep everything cozy until the thaw. Then, leave it alone. Let the natural freeze-thaw cycles, rain and worms do the mixing for you. No digging, no turning, just patience. Here's a gardener's secret that works wonders on tired soil, and it's almost free. When you rinse rice before cooking, save that milky water, pour it into a jar, cover loosely, and let it ferment for 2 or 3 days until it smells faintly sour. Then dilute it 1 to 10 with water and pour it over your compost mulch. This fermented rice water feeds beneficial bacteria, stimulates decomposition, and helps balance your soil's microbial life, especially useful if you've ever had compacted or lifeless patches. It's an old Asian farming trick that delivers quiet, powerful results. Once you've finished layering, the magic happens out of sight. Through winter, the microbes you've introduced begin transforming leaves into humus. The minerals bind with organic acids, becoming bioavailable. Worms return to feed, leaving behind castings rich in plant-ready nutrients. By the time spring arrives, you'll dig your fingers into soil that's soft, dark, and full of life. The kind of soil that grows stronger plants with deeper roots and bigger yields. You'll notice you need less watering, fewer fertilizers, and your plants resist pests and diseases naturally. That's the beauty of letting nature rebuild balance, not forcing it with manure. If you've been gardening for years, this method may sound deceptively simple, but that's the point. It's not about adding more, it's about adding better. Manure-based fertility often creates imbalances over time, too much nitrogen, compacted layers, and nutrient lockout. The November layering technique resets your soil's biology without harshness. It's a long game. Each season builds upon the last. Over time, your garden will become self-sustaining, moisture-holding, worm-rich, and biologically diverse. That's the kind of garden every SoilSage strives for. November gardening isn't about planting, it's about restoring. It's about giving back to the earth that's given so much. As you spread leaves and pour compost tea, remember, this is how forests feed themselves. Quietly, naturally, patiently. When you skip the manure, and instead trust nature's rhythm, you're not just improving your harvest, you're reconnecting with the wisdom of the soil itself. So, this November, skip the manure pile. Feed your soil with leaves, minerals, microbes, and time. Let winter be your helper, and nature your gardener. By spring, you won't just see healthier plants, you'll feel the difference in every handful of living soil you touch. If this guide inspired you, or if you try this method in your garden, share your results in the comments below. And don't forget, subscribe to SoilSage Chronicles for more timeless gardening wisdom, old-world tricks, and natural methods that bring your soil and your harvest back to life. Because the best gardens aren't built with chemicals or manure, they're built with patience, nature, and a little SoilSage magic.